So a buddy of mine had his family dog pass away, and they had their dog cremated, and they got me some of the ash, and I'm going to do up this blank for their son, so that way he has his dog and can have him with him. I'm going to do this up in a Gunmetal Devin pen kit, and when I cast this, I took the mold and I actually set it at an up angle, and that gave me these angular lines. And now with this dog ash, I knew that it was going to sink because it was a larger dog, so the ash and bone had more density to it. And so I cast in multiple layers, and so at each of the layer points, you're going to see that there's a line of ash here, there's going to be a line of ash here, and then you can see the line of ash right there in that black section. So all of these are going to intersect with each other, and you're going to see all these layers come together in the final pen. With this, always wear some sort of filter system. So I'm going to wear my RZ mask because you are going to be cutting into bone, and you do not want that in your lungs. So I won't be talking for very much because the rest of my speech will sound like this. Here we go. Alright, so you may notice more noise behind me. I've got a filtration unit going to keep the air as clean as possible and get rid of all of this bone dust that I've created. So I'm going to get through to sanding and polishing this up, and then I will see you back when we are ready for our final assembly. I am going to do a CA finish on this just to lock in all those little bits of bone and fragment and ash and everything, just to be on the safest side, because the last thing you want to do is have to repair somebody's dog pen. Alright, I'll see you in a minute. Alright, got this pen all turned and polished. Got a CA finish on it. It's looking really good. Really happy with how that turned out. Now we just gotta get this put together. This is for a Devin click pen that I'm doing in gunmetal. The black that I used, I was really happy with my decision on the black that I used. I didn't use just Illuminate Clear with black dye. I ended up using coal black from Pearl-Ex, and I'm really happy that I did that because you can actually see a bunch of little particulate inside of that black, and that's actually some of the ash floating in the resin. If I had used black dye, it would have stained those white particulates, and they would have actually been grayish, and you wouldn't be able to see them as well. Same with the bone fragment. If you look, I used red dye to color the red sections, and those bone and ash fragments actually are kind of a pinkish color because they absorbed some of that dye out of the resin. But that coal black is actually a particle pigment, And so all of the bone stayed its original color. All right, we're gonna get this put together. First thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put my tip at this end because I want, or no, sorry, I want to put my tip at this end because I want this section upward. I want my clip running right down the middle of here. And then, so I'm gonna put the tip at this end because I really like how that looks right there. I think that's gonna be a cool effect. So now, put the clip on. Just put it right in the center there, like that. Alright, we're pointing down the middle. There we go. There we go, got a really good seat on that. It's all sitting perfectly flush. So there you go. We can take our ink, drop it down in. There's a spot that you have to hit. There we go, that's it. Where the ink actually sits down inside of the, there's a little cup down in here with the click mechanism. And so that you have to get your ink down inside that little cup in the click mechanism. Then you can thread on your front end. And there we go. That is done. I have to say it's probably one of the coolest looking dog ash blanks that I've done so far. The amount of ash that they provided was a good enough amount that I was able to really saturate the resin with the ash, and then coordinating the layers so that way the ash would sink down to the bottom but still end up in the middle of the pen by, you know, casting that with the mold at an angle to really get that really neat zigzagging effect. I think that's a cool way to do it. All right, let's go get that off to my buddy.